Previously on Devil's Reign. After being elected as the new mayor of New York City, Wilson Fisk, also known as the former Kingpin of crime, using his position by outlawing superheroes in New York City. This has allowed him to access an army of supervillains called the Thunderbolts, which resulting the arrest of many superheroes, including Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, and Spider-Man. Now to oppose Kingpin's action, Luke Cage steps forward to be the new mayor of New York City, and he has launched a campaign in hopes of stopping Wilson Fisk. But to stop Luke's action, Kingpin sends his two men at the office of Luke Cage's lawyer, Foggy Nelson, and there Foggy is ambushed by those men. Later, Purple Man informs Fisk that his children were the ones who erased the memories of Daredevil's true identity. So to capture those kids, Kingpin sends his Thunderbolt units, and his main motive is to use their power to amplify the power of psychopism and control everyone's mind in the city. As the Avengers are able to know that Fisk is using the power of Purple Man to manipulate the city, they decide to take down Fisk by force. But their attempt to bring Fisk failed, as they get confronted by Doctor Octopus and his other variants known as the Superior Four. Later, Fisk unleashes a swarm of drones all over the city to hunt down those who disobey the law and order, and due to that reason, the city is under siege right now. Meanwhile, at the Avengers Mansion, the Rhino manages to break in there to warn the heroes about Kingpin's doing, but before he can do that, the Autobots arrive at their location, and just as those drones are about to hurt the heroes, Rhino quickly jumps into action and places the Thunderbolt badges on their chest so that those drones can't harm them. And he also informs them that Kingpin is now hunting down the Purple Man's children so that he can control everyone in the city by using their power. After getting that information, the Avengers prepare themselves to find those children before Fisk gets his hands on them. Scorned by his son and betrayed by his allies, Fisk becomes desperate to be free from the weight of those hatred. So he uses the Purple Man's power on himself, and now he is able to know that Matt Murdock is Daredevil. Welcome to Comicstube YouTube channel. In today's video, we will review Chapter 5 of the Devil's Reign. So if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and turn on all the notifications to never miss any future uploads. Please like, comment and share. All the text and images are owned by a suspected company. You can support them by purchasing it digitally or from any offline stores. The issue opens up with Kingpin, who is being mesmerized by the real identity of Daredevil. He starts to think all of Daredevil's doing about how he manipulates his mind and steals his memories so that he can erase the fact that he is Matt Murdock. Suddenly his thought is broken by one of his assistants as he informs him that the Thunderbolt team has located the Purple Man's children, and Kingpin orders him to break into their location and bring those kids into his lair. Back at the city, the Purple Man's children are currently staying in an old lady's house, and they see that the Autobots are hovering all over the city and patrolling unusual movements. But right at that time, they hear someone is knocking at the door, and that someone is turned out to be the US agent, and he tells those kids to come with him. But just as one of the Purple Man's kids uses his power on US agent to defend him and his siblings, Electro shows up and delivers a massive high voltage shock to those kids. And now they are being captured and ready to send to the Kingpin's lair. But before that can happen, Jessica Jones along with Miles Morales and other superheroes shows up to save them from the Thunderbolt units, and both the parties engage themselves in a stressful fight. During their fight, the Avengers are able to rescue one of those kids. While Jessica Jones prepares herself to confront with the US agent, she is being pushed by the Abomination. As Jessica gets cornered by the Abomination, the Thunderbolts team quickly puts the power dampener collar into her neck, and Abomination raises his face to finish his job. But before he can hurt Jessica, Miles quickly grabs her right at that time and tells her that they need to leave the place as they are being overwhelmed by the Thunderbolt units and the Autobots. Back at the Kingpin's lair, Otto tells Fisk that they have done the process by draining the power of the kids, and now Kingpin can control everyone in the city and win this fourthless election. But Kingpin has another plan in his mind as he tells Otto that he no longer cares about the election, As Otto wonders what is the real motive of Kingpin, he let him know that he is getting pissed off Otto's behavior, as every time he mocks him, Otto can think about bigger picture, as he always thinks about himself only. So Kingpin uses Purple Man's power on the other Otto variants, and he orders them to throw Otto out of his building. He then releases Purple Man from his cage, and he let him know that he's going to kill Matt Murdock, and he wants everyone in this city to know that what happens next is Matt Murdock's fault. So he orders Purple Man to kill every superhero in this city, and to achieve their goal, they have to suffer the consequences of Matt Murdock's crime. Back at the Avengers Mansion, Wayne Riley is able to build the neural disruptors to combat the Purple Man's power. But the situation has become more dangerous for the heroes, as Luke Cage tells them that they need to stop both Fisk and Purple Man, otherwise there will be no hope to win this election. In replies, the Purple Man's son tells him that the only way to stop Kingpin and win this election is to kill his dad. But Daredevil rejects his proposal and comforts him by saying that they don't kill people, that's what separates them from the criminals. They help people and save lives, and he promises him to stop Purple Man and Fisk. Daredevil then gets a call from Kirsten McDuffie, who let him know that about the uprising in Myrmidon prison and riots going on downtown. Back at the city, Doc Ock is being surrounded by the Superior 4 and the Thunderbolt units, as Fisk uses the Purple Man's power on them and controls them like a puppet. But right at that time, the Avengers and the Champions suddenly appears in front of them to take down the Thunderbolt units. But the situation has become more intense, as during the battle, Purple Man shows up with a horde of mind control people and sends them all after the Avengers and Champions, which turns out to be a major problem for the heroes, as now they have to fight with the New York citizens who are being turned into a zombie horde. Over at Matt Murdock's apartment, Mike arrives into his room and finds that someone has been infiltrated into his apartment, and he thinks that Butch has done this mess. But as he goes into the next room, there he gets confronted with Wilson Fisk, and he throws Mike around, believing that he is Matt Murdock. Mike tries to say he is not Matt, but Fisk does not believe his words. As a result, Kingpin then proceeds to beat Mike to death just as Christian walks into the apartment and sees the whole situation. And with the intense tension hovering all over the place, the chapter 5 of Devil's Reign comes to a close. Which part you like the most? Please comment down below, and also please subscribe, as this will motivate me to make more contents. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.